Hey there, thanks for being a part of the Christian Media Marketing Show. My name is John, and as always, I know I say it every week, but it hasn't changed. I'm thankful for you. Thanks for spending some time. Just if you're listening to the podcast, if you're watching this training, I am grateful that you have chosen to spend some time with me, and I don't want to waste that time. I don't want to take it for granted, and I'm just thankful that you hopefully are using what we're trying to share with you to help make Jesus famous wherever you are. Now, I know there's lots of challenges, lots of things that come through at times that make you and I go, oh, why are we doing this? And what are we going to do? And all that kind of stuff. I get that, all right? There are so many things that are happening that are out there that can sidetrack the work that we're doing. In fact, sometimes the work that we're doing, it may seem like, well, it's not as important as this other thing is. There's things that become important, but there's also urgency. There's a lot of that, right, that comes into this. I just want to tell you that the work that we're doing matters, and it's important to do this digital engagement, this digital evangelism, digital discipleship, follow-up, all of that. It's important because heaven and hell are real, and people will go to one of those two places. And we want to make sure that we do everything possible to leverage every possible tool that's out there to be able to help people know about the grace that is found in Jesus. To that goal, that's what we're dedicated to here at Kavanaugh Media and with our partners. I am thankful for those of you who have already reached out. Some of you saying, hey, I don't work in some of these countries for your one-to-many, but I know others who are. Some of you have already reached out saying, we're in that place and we want to partner with you. I am very excited to be able to say that we even have funding towards the ads that we can do. So if you go back, if you've missed that episode, if this is your first time being on the show or whatever, go back and look at it. But we are looking at being the agency that is the qualified, verified business accounts, running the marketing, working with the local teams, developing the content. We will have the responders, the follow-up software, everything. In fact, we'll have money that we're even going to put towards the ads themselves in this country. But we need you. We need follow-up people on the ground giving us feedback, translation of materials, as well as following up with people so that they can know who Jesus is, to really walk alongside of them. So I'm just excited at the possibilities here. We've had another organization come on board saying we want to be a part of that. And so if you're interested, reach out. I'd be glad to tell you a lot more of the details. But if you aren't in this area, maybe you don't know any teams, I would love to just ask you to be praying. Pray for the spiritual attacks that are already beginning on our team and for others that are involved. But just pray that God would be glorified and that we might be able to unite multiple Christians and organizations and groups to work together. That is what makes it hard for me to sleep sometimes at night, because I get so excited about what could be if we work well together and we just push the agenda of making Jesus known and helping others know him and walk with him, and then helping them be able to share that hope that they know of Jesus themselves. Now, I want to share with you today on the show a tool that you can use in your digital engagement, whether you're at a church in some country or you're an org or a mission team, whatever you might be. There are different things that you can do to really try to maximize your digital outreach. So I want to share one really quick idea of something you can do, and there's a part to it that I don't think I've ever taught anyone how to do before, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So there's this strategy of pushing and pulling. I know I've talked about it on the show before, but you push content in places where people weren't looking for it. Facebook, Instagram, places like that, we're pushing, hopefully, relevant content that a seeker is interested in, and then they respond back to it. But a pull strategy is when you have people who are already searching, they've shown their intent, and then you want to pull them from the search engine result page to your website or to your ministry, whatever that might be. Well, there's ways you can use both of those together. So you can run Google Ads, and then when people come to your website, you have, let's say, an Instagram pixel, the meta pixel installed on your site. Now you can retarget people on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you might be. Same thing with LinkedIn, same thing with Twitter. Like, all of these have different types of, in essence, pixels that let you get a glimpse as to what is happening. Many of them have been restricted somewhat with the release of iOS 14.5. But what we're also seeing is more people are opting back in because they realized that helped them see the kind of ads that were relevant to them. So it's still working. It may not be 100% the way it used to be, but any numbers you get. Let's say you got 5,000 website visitors in the past, and now it's only registering 2,000. Well, you still have 5,000 going. It's just that the pixel may not tell you all of them. But those 2,000, we can still do retargeting or remarketing to them. And I want to show you on the Facebook side of how to do that. Because retargeting people on Google can get you in trouble really fast. All right, so if you run a retargeting or remarketing ad on Google for spiritual things, you may find that your ad account gets disabled pretty quickly. But you can remarket on Facebook. So here's how it would work. They come from Google, they come to your website, and then you can show them an ad on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or wherever else you want to do that. All right, so that's part of it. What I want to show you today is that you can create custom audiences to retarget regardless if they're coming from a Google, YouTube, just saw your Facebook ad or Instagram ad, whatever. If they're coming to your website or they're doing something on your pixel, it's possible to retarget them based upon the frequency of what they've done. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we're going to jump into it, and here is the process within Facebook, so for Facebook and Instagram, of how you would create a custom audience. So you would click on the blue Create Audience, and then you're going to click on the word Custom Audience. When the screen pops up here, and so for those of you that are just listening to the podcast, there will be a screen that says, what's your source? So where are these pixel events happening? There's a lot of ones that are on here. For me personally, I use website, I use customer lists if I do have email addresses, I use Instagram account, I use the Facebook page, especially for anyone that's engaged with an ad or sent a message. I do lead forms, I do video, and by doing it, percentage of it. I personally don't do shopping. I don't usually do events. I have done instant experiences and audiences from that as well. All right. I don't have a catalog, though for some of you, I could see you doing this. You could have something where there's different types of resources or media content that could be a part of your catalog. Just for me, I haven't done it yet. App activity. I know some of you have Bible apps and different ones. That's another area where you can do it. What I want to show you and what I want to encourage you to do is look at each of these and begin to dive into them, because there's actually a layer of opportunity that you may have missed. So let's look at website. Click on that. You'll hit the blue next button, and then it's going to bring up, and it's going to make sure it's showing your pixel that you have. And this is just the standard screen here of any website visitors, how long, your buckets there, the retention of them. If you're unsure of how long to make this, you can always put your mouse over the little eye, and here it'll tell you the maximum time is 180 days. Here's where you can begin to include more people or exclude people. So let's say we were saying all website visitors last 30 days. I could then come into that and say, but I want you to exclude, and when you come down here, you could say people who have done the least amount of time, or who visited a certain page, which is like a thank you page for those who have already messaged you, or maybe they've already downloaded a Bible. There's no reason to keep sending them ads. All right, but the custom audience also is valuable not only for creating an audience that you want to retarget, but also creating lookalike audiences. So in those places, you might want to include, not exclude, Bible download people. But here's what I want you to see. So if we go down here and click under events, on this account, we don't have a lot of custom events set up, but you can do those there. So if you have your 8 events or any custom events set up, what I want to show you will be available there. You may have to click a couple more times, but you'll see it on your page. So let's say page view for your event. So anybody that's come to my website in the last 30 days, but now there's this refine by button right here. I want to click on refine by, and then I could say by URL. So I could say the website contains a certain page number, and I'm going to do that. And let me see here if I can put this in. Yes, and this is a word for Bible that would come in. So anybody that's been to the page where they can get a Bible on the website where this pixel is installed, but I want to refine it one more way. So this is great. Anybody that's been to the Bible page would be a part of this custom audience. I would name them down here, and then I will hit the blue Create Audience button. But now I can further refine them. So this is an and also. So this is anyone that's been to the Bible download page, and now I have as well frequency. And so when you click on frequency, I can say anyone who's been on the website to whatever page you want to say here. Could be your home page. All right, so anybody that's been to your home page, you put whatever you put for the URL there, and now I can say the frequency is greater than, equals, any of these kind of qualifiers there. So if I wanted to say anyone who's been to the Bible download page more than 2 times, that's now what we're being able to do. So we're able to use frequency of page visits to help really create a highly qualified custom audience. And then I would target them with another ad, and I might only spend $1 a day because the ad size, the audience size that is, would be really small here. But if I wanted to, I could say anyone who's been to this page at least twice in the last 30 days, I can either refine it down by mobile, desktop, any of that. All right, I can do iOS or Android or whatever. I'm not going to here. I would just say this is Bible download greater than Bible download page more than 2 times, name it, and then I could hit this create audience page. So what this would allow you and I to do is to create highly detailed custom audiences that we could run ads back to for a very low ad spend, but the ad itself could be really specific. So at this point, I know that whoever sees this ad for this custom audience that we're creating here would be someone who didn't just go to the Bible download page once, but went there 2 times or maybe more. Okay, is greater than 2 here. And by frequency of visiting, that gives us an indication of their interest. So I would set this up for all of your different pages, your main pages on your website, and play with this frequency number, and you'll begin to understand that what areas of your website are attracting people, what they're doing on there, as well as if you have more custom events, like they've clicked the message button or they have a Bible download for a Bible reading plan or something like that. Anything that you have that you create a custom event, you can do the same thing here. You can do the frequency and you'd be able to refine that even more. Press buttons. All right, press buttons. That's the key thing I want you to understand, is that when we are learning new things with the software, it keeps changing all of the time. Yes, some of the rules are constantly changing. Some of the verification stuff, both for Google, for Facebook, it always is changing, but it's important for us to learn what's happening and see how we can leverage those for the kingdom. So give it a try. Hopefully it's a help to you. Thank you again for listening to the show. Thank you for sharing the word about the one-to-many project that we're doing. Multiple countries, multiple teams and orgs. We just hope that God will be pleased with this effort. If you can, subscribe, like the podcast, like the new YouTube channel we're trying to create there. Share it with other people. I would really appreciate that. If there's things that we can help you with, as always, please reach out. We would love to share with you. Next week, we're going to look at some Web3 stuff. What's coming out? What are some new things? What are some tools? What do you really need to understand? I just did a workshop on this the other day, and it got me thinking there's some stuff here that the broader group here in this Christian Media Marketing Show probably needs to hear. So that's the plan, Lord willing, for next week's show. Thanks again for all that you do for the kingdom. Thanks for spending some time with me, and we look forward to seeing you next week if God provides. Take care, and God bless.